Whenever I start a new data science project, it just feels like this ultimate file sorting nightmare.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
You've got a clean CSV, but then you're trying to mix it with some messy JSON file and maybe a few Markdown notes someone scribbled, and you haven't even started the actual analysis yet.
And that initial part, the data wrangling, that's where most of these standard AI agents just completely fall apart.
Right.
They expect clean relational data. The real world is, it's heterogeneous. It's full of unstructured text and open-ended problems that just stump them.
So how do we automate that whole pipeline from the messy files all the way to a final answer? Today, we're diving into DS Star. That's the data science agent via iterative planning and verification.
From Google Research.
And that name, that iterative planning and verification bit, that sounds like the core mission right there, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Our goal here is to really understand how DSStar pulls off this superior performance, how it turns a simple natural language question into executable Python code for, well, the whole 9 yards.
Okay, but before we get to the cool visualizations and complex stuff, DS Store has to solve my file nightmare first.
Exactly. And its foundation is a specialized data file analysis module. It doesn't just assume the data is neat.
So it's forced to look at everything.
It's forced to read all those different files, the JSONs, the Markdown, everything, to extract the structure and the context.
That feels like the crucial first step. If you miss that initial analysis, it's like you're building a beautiful house on a crumbling foundation.
That's a perfect analogy. And that's the edge it has over agents that just choke on anything that isn't perfectly curated.
Okay, so once it understands the data, what happens next?
Then it enters this sequential loop. Plan, implement, and then verify. It's designed to mimic how a human analyst works, constantly checking their own results.
Wait a minute. If an LLM is generating the code, why should we trust another LLM, the verifier agent, to critique that code? Isn't that a bit like letting a student grade their own homework?
That is a great question. And the key is that the verifier isn't just checking syntax or if the code ran without an error.
Okay.
It assesses the sufficiency of the output. It's asking, did this specific step actually get us closer to the correct final answer?
And what if the answer is no? If the verifier flags a step as insufficient, how does it stop that classic garbage in, garbage out problem that can ruin these sequential processes?
That's where the router agent steps in. It's a game changer. It doesn't just blindly add the next step in the plan.
So it can change course.
Crucially, it decides whether to add a new step or, and this is the important part, to go back and correct an existing erroneous step. This prevents errors from compounding.
Wow.
And what's really fascinating is that the data backs this up. The sources show that on the DabStep benchmark, the hard task took an average of 5.6 of these refinement rounds.
So it's going back and fixing its own work 5 or 6 times for a difficult problem?
Exactly. It's that rigor that makes it work.
That level of self-correction is clearly effective. So what about the final numbers? Give us the metrics that justify this whole complex architecture.
Well, DSStar achieves state-of-the-art results on major benchmarks like DabStep, Kramabench, and DECODE. On that tough DabStep benchmark, it boosted the accuracy from 41.0% to 45.2%. It really shines because it's so robust with those messy multiple file types.
It's incredible how powerful automation gets when you really nail that planning and verification stage. Figuring out where agents can make this kind of massive systemic impact. That's where specialized help is so important.
It really is.
And this deep dive is sponsored by Embersilk. If you need help with AI training, automation, or even just uncovering where agents could make the most impact for your business, check out embersilk.com for all your AI needs.
I mean, the true potential here isn't just about fixing messy files. It's about empowering scientists or policy analysts to instantly query these vast, messy data sets and get real, actionable insights.
So it's about democratization.
Exactly. DSStar's ability to automate this kind of complex analysis really democratizes the field. It accelerates automated scientific discovery, and that can lead to progress across, well, countless fields.
That's a really powerful and optimistic thought for the future, just empowering everyone to ask the really hard questions.
The potential is to empower a whole new generation of learners, to let them tackle questions they previously couldn't even afford to ask.
If you enjoyed this deep dive, please subscribe to the show. Hey, leave us a 5-star review if you can. It really does help get the word out. Thanks for tuning in.